Hey everybody, it's Freddie here from eBassGuitar, and I've got a question for you. I want you to tell me whether this is the most musical plectrum exercise you've ever heard.
Hey, it's James here from eBassGuitar. Today, I'm handing the baton over to top eBassGuitar coach Freddie Draper, and he's going to ask you, is this the most musical pick or plectrum bass line you've ever heard? Let's get going.
Hey everyone, it's Freddie here from eBassGuitar, and in today's lesson, I plan to get you a little more acquainted with our plastic friend, the plectrum. I'm a total plectrum addict. I love playing with it. I love the sensation. I love the sound. There's this weird debate on the internet about real bassists not playing with a pick. I think I've heard that a couple of times somewhere, and I got to tell you, it's total nonsense. This is a technique that we can choose to utilize to serve the song in the best way possible. And what I'm going to try and get you thinking about in this lesson is really trying to bring out your musicality in this exercise. So just before we get stuck in, I need to tell you there's a free PDF with tablature and notation that can be found in the description of this video. Make sure to go and download that so you can have a look at the finger patterns of the exercise that I'm about to talk about. So whether you're brand new to playing with the plectrum or whether you're a seasoned pro, I'm just going to go over a couple of ways you can hold the pick. Typically we hold it with the thumb and the first finger, and we can fan our remaining fingers outwards. This is referred to as open grip, so just like this. We can also use closed grip as well, where we bring the fingers in like this. And sometimes you'll see players using closed grip who may wish to grip the plectrum with the second finger as well, like this. It doesn't really matter which one you use, so long as the motion is coming from the wrist like this and not the whole arm. So the first exercise that we're going to do is we're going to play through the major scale using downstrokes. And we're just going to take the A string and go to fret 7, which is E, and we're going to play the E major scale like this. Okay? I just want you to do that in free time. You don't necessarily need to worry about putting a metronome on. We're just trying to focus on making sure that the notes all sound really beautiful. So you may wish to experiment with where you place your plectrum. If I play it towards the bridge, I'll get a spikier kind of sound. And then if I move it just behind the neck, I'll get a really kind of boomy sort of chambered sound. It's quite a sort of woody, sort of knocking sound. This is much more of a kind of old school way of playing with the plectrum. You hear players like Paul McCartney getting tones like this. And then back here is a little bit more sort of punk rock. Players like JJ Burnell from the Stranglers or Kim Deal from the Pixies. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to do exactly the same thing again, but this time we're just going to use upstrokes. Okay? Downstroke is where you move through the string towards the ground like this. Upstroke is where you invert the motion and you move it up towards the sky. Typically, downstrokes are a little weaker in sound, but it's important that we practice both. So let's do that now. So now we're going to combine both the upstrokes and the downstrokes to use a technique called alternative picking, where we're moving back and forth through the string like this. And we're going to start this with a downstroke. So the final thing we're going to do in this exercise is we're going to start with an upstroke. This will invert all of the picking patterns that we did in the previous exercise. Okay, it feels a little bit weird. It's sort of a bit like if you do this with your hands and then you change and use the hands like this. It just feels different. It feels very, very different. One of the things I really like about this exercise is not only is it a good workout for the right hand, but it also gets you thinking about the direction of the pick, which is something that's really important to think about with phrasing and getting the line consistent.
Hey guys, it's me again, James here from eBassGuitar, and I am so sorry to interrupt, but I've got a quick favor to ask you. If you're enjoying this lesson, please can you hit the red subscribe button, which is somewhere around this video. What this means for us is that we can keep growing the eBassGuitar YouTube channel. And what this means for you The more the channel grows, the more great free content that we can keep putting out there to help improve your bass guitar playing. So please hit the red subscribe button, which is somewhere around this video.
So the next thing we can do is we can go above the octave. So we can do any of these 4 versions of this major scale exercise. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the 9th. We're going to go root, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, octave, 9th. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do this exercise in intervals of thirds, which sounds like this. So what's going on there? Instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up the scale and so on, what I'm doing is I'm jumping back between the intervals. So I'm going 1 to 3. I'm going up a third away from the root. And then I'm going up to the next degree of the scale. But instead of going from 2 to 3, I'm going from 2 up to 4. So I'm going 1, 3, 2, 4, like this. This is referred to as playing the scale in intervals of thirds because I'm moving a third away from each scale degree each time. I'm doing this diatonically. Diatonic just means within the key. So I'm going E, G sharp, F sharp, A, and so on and so forth. So yeah, just to zoom in on that, E, G sharp, F sharp, A, G sharp, B, A, C sharp, B, D sharp, C sharp, E, D sharp, F sharp, E. So one of the reasons that I suggested that we go up to the 9th is just so that we can have a slightly more satisfying conclusion when we get to the top of that. Now, there's a few different ways we can do this. We can use all the exercises that we used just doing the major scale a minute ago. So what we could do is we can do all downstrokes like this. And back down again. And now we're going to do exactly the same thing again, but we'll do upstrokes this time. And back down again. And now doing alternative picking, starting with the downstroke. I'll try and say what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Down, up, 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 down. And let's start with another down. Down, up, 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 down. And then the other way around. Up, then down. Up, down, 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 up, up, down, 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 up, down. So yeah, that's really starting to add lots and lots and lots of different colors to your articulation while still doing an exercise that sounds kind of musical. You hear this used in classical music in particular a lot. So just before I carry on with the lesson, please do hit that subscribe button that's down in the description below this video. It basically means we can carry on growing the fantastic eBassGuitar community and keep getting awesome free lessons out to you every single week. So how do we continue to make this exercise even more musical? We're going to add a third note in between everything, which means that we're going to end up changing our time signature. Now, some of you might be asking, Freddie, what speed should I do this at? I don't mind. Do this free. I want you to make this sound like the most beautiful piece of music you've ever played in your life. It's all about the sound. So if the timing is a little bit flexible, it doesn't really matter to me. What we're going to do is we're going to carry on doing our intervallic exercise in thirds. But in between every note, I'm going to add an open E. Okay, I'm going to add a drone. It's going to sound like this. It's starting to sound like a piece of music or a bass line that you might have heard one of your favorite bands play. So what am I doing here? In terms of my picking pattern, I did use alternative picking there, But you can use all of the different picking patterns that we've already looked at. So, for example, you could do it all with downstrokes. Like this, and then back down. Or you could do it all with ups. This is really hard. You can change where you're playing. I'm going to try playing a bit close to the neck, see how that sounds. Okay, you've got to be really careful to not hit the other strings. That one's particularly hard. We could try alternative picking, so we could start with a downstroke. So maybe we could go down, down, up. Okay, I think at the end I did down, up, down, but you can hear that it's starting to sound so much more musical, almost getting like a call and response between our bass line, which is our droning E, and our lovely. It's sounding like it's having this absolutely lovely skip. And of course, you don't have to do this with just the major scale. You could do it with the minor scale. Okay, that sounds pretty cool too. Try this out with some other scales. Once you've got your E majors down, maybe try it with E minor or E Dorian. Sky's the limit with this stuff. If you've enjoyed today, please do hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't already done so, please check out my 2-part series on 5 Plectrum bass lines every bassist should know. I've been Freddie. Thanks so much for your attention, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.
But guys, that is the end of this bass guitar lesson. If you've enjoyed it and you love Freddie's teaching, please head over to eBassGuitar.com/VIP, because Freddie is one of the eBassGuitar VIP coaches and you can study with him one-on-one. To apply, all you need to do is fill in the form which is on that page. Cheers, I've been James from eBassGuitar.com. I'll catch you next time.